Come by Indian Celina Lake. You'll love the adventure. Hey, especially if you're a Hoosier, might as well back the treasures that we have in the great state of Indiana. And right here, Indian Celina Lake is in southern Indiana. You'll love it. Alright, that was another successful launch with the Selvin, the 1980 Selvin. Going to get out here today, going to be some high winds, but I tell you what, yesterday was a stellar day to fish. I'm hoping today matches it. Let's get on out there. Get on out there to Hoosier National Forest, Celina Lake. Let's do some fishing. Good morning, Rick and Ball House. How are you? Yeah, Selvin's looking good. Maybe a rain shower. We don't care. We're bass hunting today. We are out for the second day in a row fishing. Gonna fish Celina Lake again. But I tell you what, yesterday was such a good day. I doubt if we do that good, but we'll see. Group of hikers and campers. Had to film that group right there. That was last night. I came back over to Celina Lake once it had gotten dark. And what's kind of funny is one of these hills, top of the hills right up there, there's a nice campsite. It was lit up like a Christmas tree. I can't believe all the lights that they packed in order to light their camp up. It might be like a Boy Scout group. They all seem to be about the same age, some older boys involved in it. Looks to me like they're having a good time. That's kind of not your best case scenario if you went backpacking last night and were camping somewhere close to that, because I would imagine they would have been a little bit loud, but who knows? Presumption on my part, you know, they might have been as quiet as a mouse. Back out here on Celina Lake, yesterday was a stellar day of fishing, and I'm going to see if I can't do some good. I'm a little bit nervous because I don't have my green pumpkin selection like I like, but you know what? I'm going to do with what I got. We'll go from there. Glad you came along. Let's get on out there. That's what it's going to be today. A lot of wind. Yeah, anytime you fish lakes like this that are trolling motor only, you really got to be concerned about your battery life. So what I always like to do is if I'm going to fish the whole lake, I go all the way upwind as far as I can go at the very beginning. Worst case scenario, the battery fails, I can float on back to the dock. Always a good idea to try to plan ahead if you can. Good day to be gone fishing. Alright, not sure you can hear me with all this wind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the place where I left off yesterday. Had a lot of bites, caught a few fish there. Going to go back there and see if maybe I can do some good. This wind is going to play havoc on us today, for sure. you go. It's always a good day when you see a military flyby. Looked like a Black Hawk going by. That was pretty sweet. Man, I can hear them so far away. Just the very first slight little thump, thump that you hear coming a long ways away. That one there took me by surprise because he's coming from the east right over this ridge, and I was actually sitting down to take an aspirin. And this is where my aspirin ended up right here. Because I just had to spit that aspirin out and go, oh my gosh, here it comes, and film him. Pretty cool. Good day already. Nice landing. Boy, it sure looks like we've got some rain moving in. And I thought it said 0 chance. Man, that looks more than 0 to me. Daggone. Wow, what a beautiful day. 2 days in a row, just gorgeous. Knockout gorgeous. I'm surprised Mama Goose over here is not yapping at me. I guess maybe she remembers me from yesterday and I'm not a threat. They are protective of their nest, for sure. I gotta bandage these fingers up. They are not good. And I can imagine if I stay out here 8 hours today, they're gonna be in terrible shape. So I kind of got the system down how I do it. You know, I could wear gloves, but the gloves I have are just a little bit thick. I need some almost like skin tight gloves would be good. Something like that. I don't know if you can see, look at that. That is just not good. Pretty good. gunshot over there, but he's shooting a weapon. If you ever got to wrap your fingers up like this, the key to it is once you get them all wrapped like that, you take a little pair of scissors like this and you just trim off these little ears. See those little ears on there? Just take it and trim those off. Just like that. I've wrapped them up before and I've had them last the entire day. They work good. Even if they get wet. These are flexible bandages. I get these at Myers. That's a pretty nice little system right there. Works good. You know, a lot of people, when they hear gunfire like that, and I don't know when I was wrapping my fingers up if you could hear that. Somebody, probably a mile or two away is shooting a semi-automatic pistol. And a lot of people get really nervous about that. I don't. Was at Gander Mountain a couple years, but last year I was there. I went over to the gun department, helped them run the gun department. I was like what they call a firearm lead. And then after that, a few years later, I went to work for a hunting and gun outfit in southern Indiana there. And I was there for about 4 years, and I actually ran the store. You know, you learn a lot about firearms, about safety. You learn about how to handle them, how dangerous a lot of people handle firearms. It's nuts. But you also learn not to get real nervous about them. Like the old saying, the firearm is not what's killing people, it's the people that are using the firearm. You know, a firearm laying there doesn't scare me. A firearm, being shot somewhere doesn't scare me at all. Now, what I can tell you is, and especially around the cabin, there's a lot of people with a lot of guns, and I can always tell if somebody is shooting to the left, shooting to the right, shooting back, or shooting toward me. You can always tell that sound, and I do get a little nervous when I hear an AR firing off, and all of a sudden you can tell that that gun has swung in the direction of you. Now, that doesn't mean they're firing at you. You know, they could be a mile or so away, or half a mile, or a quarter mile away, but they've taken that gun down and they're shooting at a target in direct range of you. That makes me a little bit nervous, because I know bullets carry a long ways. If you have a firearm, you are responsible until that bullet stops. So once you pull that trigger and that bullet fires out of there, that's your responsibility all the way till it stops. It's done. It's dead in the trail. You shoot at a target and it ricochets and goes a quarter mile and hits somebody right between your eyes and kills them, you're responsible for that. You got to watch them firearms. Just be careful with them. There's nothing wrong with them, but be responsible. Know your responsibilities. This is interesting because this is the Speed Vibe that I've been doing really good with. And I tried this one yesterday, and this is just a super crawl. Zoom product, same thing. Have the larger pinchers on it. Didn't get any bites on this one at all. Put this one back on, started getting bites again. They like the small pinchers rather than the larger ones. But I may be forced to go to this one today if I run out of these guys right here. And I know that's a true green pumpkin. I don't know if these guys are green pumpkin or not. They look a little different color. Not for sure. I don't see any flake in them. Boy, the old geese are battling today. They are really mad at each other. They definitely have a pecking order inside their society. I'm going to take this guy, this old boy right here, man. Now that dude is beat up. He is beat up. He's got so many holes on him. He's got his whole back here is all split open right here. I mean, this guy is beat up. But I am not going to throw this away. I want to make sure. Well, number one, I don't like tossing them in the lake anyways, because I don't want Indiana's largest bass ever to be gotten to swallow something like this and kill the bass. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that on standby right there, just in case. But I do have one that looks fairly new here. Although it has been used before, I can tell a hook's been through it. And I've got a couple others. Hey, we've got some rain coming in, dang it. I'm going to rake him up a little bit. Get that salt coming out of him there. There we go. All right. Now how I rig these, and this is exactly what Randy Blockett on Intuitive Angling, this is how, he showed me how to do it on his videos, and so I'm just showing it to you. I just use a straight hook, not one of those bent hooks, whatever. Go through his nose, and these little deals also have eyes. I don't know, they're not very pronounced. I don't know if it makes a difference if you rig it upside down or not, but I just go down in there, come out about, quarter inch, 3/8 of an inch. Come on down, push him up through the eye, and then I always like to, which you're probably not going to be able to see, but I always like to just barely hook it right in the side. I mean, just barely hook it in there. I don't take it through and come out the back of it, or try to hide it inside the back of it. Once again, Randy Blockett was the one that taught me that. He said, look, when it comes to creatures like this, barely hook them in the side like that. That way, when that bass hits it, even if he wants to spit it out, the hook is just barely in there, and a lot of times you'll get a good hook set on it because of that. My catch rate probably increased at least 50%, if not more, by hooking it like that. I still miss a lot of them. Yesterday, I missed probably 8 of them. I mean, I actually had them hooked, brought them into the boat, and they jump off. But the fact that I did catch 8 in the boat yesterday, if I wouldn't have been doing this, I might, that might have only been 2 or 3. Yeah, you can see I'm kind of tucked behind this little cove right here. Won't be long, I'll be out there in the Wind River. Ooh, blowing pretty good. Gonna go ahead and head to the other side. You can see how that wind's picking up right there. Pretty big gusts. Chance of rain? I'm kind of surprised it's raining. Alright, got my first really big power bite. Curled him up pretty good. Now what I've done is I've taken that green pumpkin super crawl and I took a pair of scissors. I cut his claws down. Yesterday I didn't get any bites on it. Today I got a pretty good power bite just then. True green pumpkin. The one I was using this morning, I don't know what color this is, but it just doesn't seem to me like it's a true green pumpkin color. Seems like it's an off color. Oh shit. Oh yes. 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 We start out with the military Black Hawk going by, which was an excellent way to start the day out. And now we've got fish in the boat. That's right. All right, that's a nice sized little bass right there. About the size I was catching yesterday. Okay, that's fish number 1. And that was with that green pumpkin super crawl that I took the scissors and I cut down his claws just a little bit. Might have made a difference. I don't know. Yesterday I didn't get a bite on it. Today, not bad. Okay. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Have a good day. I'm pretty happy with that. Fish in the boat. No skunk, second day in a row. He smacked the side of the Selvin, and for a minute there, I thought I was going to knock him off. That would have been truly disappointing. All right, man. He pulled that hook all the way through this thing. All right, so there we go. Get him all set back up. Okay, so now I know that the super crawls work the same as the speed crawls, but the pinchers are just a little bit big. Pinchers down quite a bit, about half, and it got a bite on it. Whether that was it or not, I don't know. Oh, look, he bit part of his pincher off too. He sure did, the very bottom right there. So, I think I'll leave him on there maybe. I don't know, it's starting to rain. Maybe I ought to try to find another one. I think the ultimate key is to barely have that hook pinched in the side right there. You would think, you can see that hook clear as possible, but for some reason, the fish seem to go for it. All right. Let me throw this guy a couple more times. I don't know, it makes me a little nervous. Half his pincher's gone, but you know what? Out there in the real world, I imagine there's a lot of crawdads swimming around without pinchers. So it might make him look more realistic than ever. And I actually caught him kind of in deep water. Is the last super crawl I had. I got quite a few hits on it, but they finally snipped off this little curve right here. There was only like about half of the pincher left. It wasn't swimming anymore. It's just dragging through. So that's not good. You got to have that action going. The same as I did the last one. And I'm just going to take off, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1/8 of an inch width down through there. For some reason yesterday I could not get a bite on it with the wider pinchers, but once I narrowed the pinchers down, it seemed to do a lot better. Yesterday I got no bites. Today, as soon as I did it, within probably 30 minutes I caught a nice fish. See that? There's a difference between the one I've modified and the original. Alright, so there you go. That's all modified. There's no way it's perfect in any way. I took my knife and I went ahead and scraped him up to get the salt coming out. I noticed they're a little bit more fragile this way, so after about 2 or 3 monster hits, they usually take a clipper off. I'm tucked way up here by the dam, and it's pretty nice because I'm a little bit out of the wind. Right when you get past me, it is just like smoking down there. A couple of those fish have hit the side of the selvin whenever I pulled them up, so I really need to get in practice of using that net. That'd probably be a real good idea. Yes! Yes! All right! Woo! I think I caught me a good one right now. Woo! Hey, baby. What do you think? This might come close to my Celina record. I'd say so. There we go. Now that's a nice bass right there. Wow. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Wow. That is a nice looking fish right there. Wow. There he is. All right. Customized super crawl. Trim the pinchers down. Seem to do good. Okay, wow. Buddy. I'm going to let you go. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh. Caught him out in deep water. I'm fishing these banks. Every once in a while I'll throw it out there, out in the middle. Boy, he hit that hard too. Just way out there. And I thought, man, he looks like a pretty good fish right here. So I grabbed the net. Made me nervous. Got him in. All right. 2 fish in the boat, but that's a nice fish right there. is last night I was literally couldn't get to sleep because I thought, man, I wonder if I should drive all the way back to town and go to Academy Sports when they opened up this morning to get me some more of those Supervive pumpkins. Man, I'm glad I did. Conclusion I came to is, look, you got a lot of stuff in your tackle box. Just because one was hitting doesn't mean something else can't hit. Yesterday was so successful, I knew I kind of wanted to stay within the same creature range and the same color. Sure enough, bam, that's a nice fish right there. Thank you for coming along. I hope you're enjoying the day. Oh, fishing report, it's about 12 noon, high noon. We got 2 fish in the boat. We got a lot of strikes, and we're doing good. All right. It's gotten way too windy. It's coming up. It's almost right capping out. So I'm gonna call it quits for now. And try to find a safe harbor. Yeah, way too windy out here. If nobody's in this next cove, I'm gonna go around the corner right here and try to get out of this wind. Might be able to. Maybe eat some lunch. I hate that missing all this good fishing right through here. But at this point, there's not much I can do. It's just getting way too windy. I bet I got hit by a 30, 40 mile an hour gust back there. Oh, here comes a big gust right here. Better leave my new hat off. Wow. Man, look at that out here. Woo. Yeah. Windy day. These lakes are always windy. Always. Fish, dude. All right, I think I just broke my record at look at that bass right there. Okay, I gotta throw an anchor down. Look at that bass right there. Wow, that's awesome. That's totally awesome. All right. Woo! Man, I tell you, fishing in this wind is absolutely brutal, but if you keep going, look at that bass right there. That is a beauty. That is an absolute beauty. I'm going to go ahead and get him in the water. He's heavy duty. I don't know. He may go. Hard to say. He may go 3 pounds. Pretty heavy fish. All right, man. We'll get you back in the water. Hey, I'm glad I got you. I'm glad you're all right. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Woo! What scared me the most about that bass is he had swallowed it. It was like, oh man. Because, I don't know. Sometime last fall, I caught one and he did the same thing. And I struggled to get that hook out down in there. And he didn't make it. And I felt so bad about that. But that fish right there, get the plastic out of him. And then I could see the hook. And he just was barely hooked down there. And so I was able to break free. Man, that was a nice fish right there. I should just quit today. That's 3 in the boat, but man, medium size, larger, and larger yet. Oh yeah, man. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about that right there. I tell you, it's tough. It's tough to fish in the wind. You know, especially wind like this. You know, 25-mile-an-hour wind. That's getting tough. I'm thinking that's probably my all-time largest fish here in Celina right there. And I'm going to go ahead and invest in a scale because, you know, I'm guessing at all these weights. And, you know, I might be way off as far as being too heavy, and I might be way off as far as being too light. You know, that fish might have weighed 4 pounds. I doubt it. I was able to pull up the weather. It said winds blowing right now at 24 miles an hour here. I believe it. It's white capping out there. It says 5% chance of rain. Sure looks like a storm coming in, but they're not saying it is. I know by this evening the wind's supposed to calm down somewhat, but then tomorrow the wind's supposed to be just as strong as today. Still haven't decided whether I want to camp tonight or whether I want to go back this evening, break camp down, and head back to the cabin. My problem is I'm starting to run out of data. Like my machine right here, it's telling me if I try to save an image, save 60 seconds, it's going to take 60 seconds off something I've already saved. And see, I want to be careful there because I don't want to delete some of the photos or some of the film that I got of actually catching the fish. I think the wind should die a little bit. Man, it's been brutal today. Probably a 2-pounder. Today, almost a 3-pounder. So yeah, I'm happy. That's a good day. That's a good day. I got a YouTube channel, so I do videos and stuff, and I've got her packed with equipment and all kind of stuff.
YouTube channel myself.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What's your channel?
Van Life Chronicles.
Van Life Chronicles.
Yeah, it's usually just me and my wife.
Yeah, the old Jeep Liberty sounds a lot better. Got a brand new muffler put on it the other day. And man, it needed it. It was so loud trying to pull the selvin out of the water. And what really bothered me is when I'm camping. And a lot of times I'll get up, say 6, 7 o'clock, head down to the lake. Man, I hate firing up a loud vehicle, especially when you know there's people around you camping. It's a good day of fishing. I'm going to go back, break camp down. I'm going to finish my little security talk about camping solo if you're a beginner. A couple things you should have. And head back to the cabin tonight is what I'm thinking. Okay, just got off the water, and I decided before taking down the Gazelle, getting everything loaded up and ready to head back to the cabin, I thought I'd go ahead and finish that little segment that I started yesterday evening, and it got too dark. Where we were in the discussion is we were talking about an Escrima stick. Now, this is one of the best defenses that you could have and take in with you in the tent. Once again, if you're trained at firearms and you have a firearm, okay, I get that. Firearms are the ultimate equalizer. But if you're not trained with them, or you're not comfortable with them, or even the campground that you're staying in won't allow them, what do? We talked about bear spray. We talked about a tactical flashlight. Of course, there's always blades, all kind of knives you might consider. An Escrima stick, to me, is my #1 defense. Several things about the Escrima stick. Number one, it's a stick. It's a stick that you can find anywhere. I could go right now and walk out in this woods and probably within 50 yards find an Escrima stick. Now, I won't find one that looks just like this, but I'd have to carve it, I'd have to cut it to size. But what I'm saying is that you can find these almost anywhere. That's pretty nice. Once you get good at using one, situation turns bad on you. You may look down, you may run into the woods, you may be somewhere where anything's laying around could turn into your weapon right here. Now, why is this so important? Why is this nice to have? And we're talking about defense against animals and humans. What I like about them is, number one, if something ever happened and you had to come out of your tent and you had your Escrima stick with you, you know, somebody's going to say, ooh, got your stick with you. He'd say, yeah, well, I found it on the ground and I usually carry it with me. You know, make up some kind of excuse why you have this in your hands. The thing about it is there's several things to remember. And go to YouTube, Google it, Escrima stick. You can find out how to be trained by it if you want to be trained by it, also along with self-defense moves, things like that. Let me just try to simplify it as much as possible. This is in no way a training film. This might help you just in case you want to grab one, take it in with you in the tent. If I go underneath my arm, it comes right out to my fist. That's a good way to judge it about the length of your fighting stick should be. 2, when you grab it, you don't hold it like this. You always hold it like this. Reason for that is just in case somebody jams you, just in case somebody grabs it, just in case somebody comes up from behind, you have this area to hit with. You have the main part of the fighting stick, but you have this butt area sticking out right here, which would be pretty good. For instance, if somebody came up and grabbed me from behind, you know, I would just start jabbing it backwards. You could try this, but you could also maybe hit yourself with it, hit yourself in the eye, but you just jab it, just like, here's like one of the greatest moves. Somebody comes up to you, I don't want any trouble, I don't want any trouble. Hands are always up, you're all the time showing them that you don't want any trouble, but really this hand is for your self-defense, right? In case something is thrown. This hand is also a distraction. Instead of hitting somebody, instead of hitting an animal, instead of coming straight at them, so you can swing low, smack them right on the side of the leg. That will hurt and it will definitely stun them. But you don't stop there. You can hit, and on your follow through, bam, you hit the other leg. Now, you get hit once and twice, chances are almost every time somebody is going to reach down to keep you from hitting again, or just because of the pain is going to reach down, which is going to open this up. So you could practice 1, 2, second move straight in, just straight in. Third move, come up over the top and come down, come up over the top, come down. Last move, swing around right here. Swing around right there. Do not play around with this. Do not try this. Do not try this on a friend, a buddy, if you're out drinking, whatever you're doing. Don't try this kind of stuff. This is in case your life is threatened, your family is threatened with great bodily harm or death, and you have to do something. If you don't know anything, now you'll know something a little bit more than you did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. YouTube it, study it, take it with you in a tent, and you'll be happy. Now, you wouldn't want to get out of your tent and do that. Woo, 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 woo. Like your Kung Fu John, you know. No. You want to come out, this is just something that you picked up and you're not going to use, but just in case the thing gets bad. So I hope those helps. That's for the beginners out there. If you camp by yourself, solo camping, don't go in your tent without security. Well, usually I find spiders on the tent. Got a nice little feller here kind of hanging out. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. Guess he's just kind of cruising around, checking out the gazelle. He's on my camera. Nope. Get on the camera. Nope. Oh, now he's crawling on the camera. Nope. Nope. Here. Come here. Let me give you a tree to climb on, buddy. How's that sound? There you go. Get on that tree. There you go. You got it. All right. Now take care. Don't let no woodpecker come and grab you. Blue jay, crow. Probably make a delicious meal for any one of them. Okay, about got the selvin ready for the road. Now it's time to break down the Gazelle T4. Get all the camping stuff put up. Hey, I appreciate you coming to the channel. That's LAF Space Film Fest, capital LAF Space Film Fest. Hey, if you would, hammer down that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Helps me to come places like this. Hoosier National Forest. Very, very beautiful. North Face Campground. Hunt the big bass. Hopefully be a little bit informative. Kind of entertaining. Hope you like it. Hey, I do appreciate you coming by. And I'll be talking to you in the next video. Look at that bass.